Look, Inazuma, I get that you like your lightning bolts, but did you really have to mess up Nagamo's eyes? What's up, YouTube? Lucas TV 719 here, and it's that time of month again. Time for Inazuma Walker, and with Inazuma Walker, there's an episode of Outer Code. This month's episode of Outer Code, the Sun Garden, where we finally get some news on our buddies from yeah, their name is now Eisei Gakuen, which is nice. And also, if we're on the topic of changing names, let's talk about our friend Hiroto, whose name is now Kiyama Tatsuya. Now, I actually like the change of name. It actually gives Outer Code its own universe, so to speak, and really actually separates it from the original. So it pretty much distances the two series. So in this episode we get more of a clear explanation on what Buddha's role is. He's not really doing much, but Hitomiko, his daughter, is actually asking him if he can sponsor Eisei Gakuen's team so they can actually play in the football frontier. And a very key thing that I somehow did not piece together is that Buddha is sponsoring Haizaki's team, Seisho Gakuen. Their sponsor is Kida Star. I mean, I can't believe I couldn't put that together. So our friend Kiyama Tatsuya is talking to who we know as Midorikawa about how they finally got a sponsor for their team. What seems to be weird is that Midorikawa is actually trying to convince Tatsuya to join them, and he's like arguing with him, which is weird because it's completely different from how we know him. And everything starts to go south until the Dream Team comes, the rest of Eisei Gakuen, leading with Yagami Reina, Nagumo aka Lightning Eyes, Haruya, Suzuno Fusuke, Saginuma Osamu, and those two guys from Prominence whose names I don't really care about. And everything seems to finally be lifting up until somebody decides to crash the party. Ladies and gentlemen, Kida Hiroto, Buddha's son, and really different from what I expected. Don't get me wrong, I like his new design. He's rocking the whole edgy, I'm totally a badass look. It's just completely way out of left field. I mean, look at him before. He looks so young and so innocent. It's like, did those extra years of living do something? Wait, Kida Hiroto is evolving. Congratulations! Your Kida Hiroto evolved into a jackass! Really bad Pokemon jokes aside, it looks like Kida Hiroto can actually back up the trash talk he be talking. Does anyone else smell that? I smell badass striker. And mixing that with everyone else we've seen, we got a pretty offensive team here. I mean, we got Bomba in the defense, but everyone else is either a midfielder or a forward. The only other choice we have is if Saginuma goes back to his old position as goalkeeper, but even then, we got a seriously offensive team here. With the 9 we got here, we only need 2 more to make our 11. And then I guess you could throw in an extra 5 to make 16, because usually there's 11 people and 5 people on bench. So I guess you can throw in Whis and Nero from the Genesis, get that extra goalkeeper in there. I guess you could also throw in another person from Diamond Dust. We already got 2 from Prominence. And I guess you could throw in Segata from Epsilon, get that Ganymede Proton up in there. Based on what we've seen from this trailer, I'm expecting a very Kidokawa from Go vibe from this team, because we got that one guy who's just pissing off everyone else, and until that guy makes his traditional Inazuma 360 no-scope turnaround, this team is going to be a bit shaky. The episode ends with Hitomiko Kantoko going, "Buddha Dad, no! You can't put Hiroto on the same team as these guys, he's gonna mess up the entire chemistry." And he's like, "It's one of the conditions if you want me to sponsor your team." So it ends like that. She's like, "No further questions, I'll go." And another thing that I've noticed is apparently every episode of Outer Code, the ending is gonna be a variation of Teppen and Dash. The first one, as I mentioned before, was a piano lullaby. This time it's kind of an acoustic guitar version. Listen. Pretty nice thing they did there, right? I mean, I can't wait to see what they have in episode 3 and onward. Anyway, the only other thing I could really find on this week's episode is that Kira Hiroto is actually younger than Hitomiko. Because the thing is, in the original series, Kira Hiroto was older than Hitomiko, so if he kept living, he would have been around like age 20, probably being in the pro leagues during the time of Alien Academy. However, in Ares, they're switching things up. They're making him younger than Hitomiko, so he can be part of the ASA Gakuen team and cause some shenanigans. That's it for this month's episode of Outer Code. The next episode will appear during the Inazuma Walker livestream, same time, same place. This time on January 20th, 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time. Check your own time zones on how that translates so you don't miss it. Besides this week's episode, there were some other things that happened in Walker, but I'm going to save those for another video since I like to keep the reviews separate from the other news that happened during Inazuma Walker. Now, some things actually happened this time around as opposed to last month, so stay tuned to Lucas TV 719 and I'll bring you the news that came on after this week's episode of Outer Code. This has been Lucas TV 719. See you all later.